Many thanks. I hope that everybody understands because my alphabetical English and after when I got the blood insult 2009, so it has even gone worse and worse. So my language is so simple that I hope everybody can understand it. But what I'm going to speak in that shamanistic congress, most of the people, they understood what I spoke. But when I've spoken about those things to the musicians and the music scientists, so no answer, only silence in Finland. So I have not yet found even one musicologist who could say something about about these things, what I'm going to say. But anyway, I'm going to speak about improvisation because I began to interest what's improvisation. It was 57 when I began to play as amateur guitarist, and during 60s I began seriously to be interested in improvisation. What is it? And now when I'm almost 73, so I have found the answers, but I don't give the answers to you because everybody has to find his her own answer to these questions. Own answer means that it's like art, and in art in generally, if we are all the different kind of people, so if we get the same experience, same painting, same musical song, and so it means that everybody will get his her own answer to that. Is that good or bad, or is it something? And in order to try to find something which we all could experience in the same way, everybody of us, we should experience something different, totally different than the friend of us who is sitting there. So this is vice versa. But in order to keep in the main point in improvisation, I decided even already in Finland that I will make a Gallup test to you at first. You are something 40 people here, maybe less, and therefore I have paper there. And I have very simple task to you. Do you prefer to say that in Swedish et null or in English 1-0? Which is better? Which is more neutral to you? Et null. Okay. So everybody has to choose some et or null. And I will write them onto the table immediately, and you will begin later when I have 10. So, and then you after him, and then we go that way. And after you will begin the next, and then after you there. Maybe you could say here after him your number. So and then yeah, after her you, and okay, after you there, and NA will be the last one. And be careful that I can write that right there that I don't take mistakes. And I have to have 1 or 2 seconds to time to write it. So, et or null. And they are neutral things, so you will just okay.
Noll. Noll.
Et.
Ett.
Ett.
Noll.
Ett.
Ett.
Noll.
Noll.
Noll. Noll. Noll.
Noll.
Ett.
Ett.
Ett. Nej.
Ja.
Noll.
Ett.
1 or 2 et.
One.
1 et, yeah.
Noll. Noll.
Noll. Ett. 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 Noll. Noll. Ett. Noll. Ett. Noll. Noll. Ett. 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 Noll.
What's the last one?
Noll.
No. Okay, after 2 nulls,
Finish.
next one.
Everyone.
Okay. I want to check that if I have written right. So we make that again once, another time, the same thing.
Yes.
But you don't need to say the same number, of course. You can- whatever you want. I put a line here, and then we'll begin.
Noll. Noll.
Et.
Ett.
Ett.
Noll.
Ett.
Ett.
Noll.
Ett.
Noll. Noll. Ett.
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 Ett. Noll.
Noll.
Yeah.
Noll.
Ett. 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 Noll.
How many? I have written 3. One more.
Nej,
Okay.
nej, nolla ska vara det. Noll där.
After 4 et is null.
The
The
last
next
ett
one.
is a noll.
Okay. Null.
No. After 3.
After 3 or 4 et.
Fri. Ja,
Ja.
så.
That's good.
After 3 et 2 null I heard. Yeah. Next.
Noll. Ett. Noll.
Noll.
Noll. Noll. Ett.
Ett. Noll. Ett.
Noll.
Vad sista?
Finish.
Finished.
En.
Finish.
Ja.
Finish. Ah. Okay. Let's hope that it was right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 times että 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 19, että 1. And here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, I think that was right, that's fourth. One. A little bit less than first time. But what we can read from this 20 plus 18, 38 kertaa 0, tulee 20, 37. 37 kertaa 1. If the balance was worse than this one, so it means yeah, 38 and 37. So they are in absolute balance. And if they didn't wear in balance, I normally would say that this group is a little bit sick. And it has happened in my life. I have made that about, let's say, 50 times in my life during 30 years, from 81, 82, I don't remember. So, 4 or 5 times I've got worse answers than this one. And all those groups were music specialists. They were willing to show me that they are clever and they are full of themselves and so they were sick. School to be in academic school, music school or something. It gave self.
Academic.
Yeah. So this is fantastic good because it cannot be better. This balance.
Thank you.
But this is not by chance, because everybody of you, they could see and listen what the people before you had said. So it was your decision, the number to say. And this shows that if one of you were thinking too clever, or something like a sick way, the balance of the universe could go broke.
Okay.
We are, everybody of us, universe needs us as personal because otherwise there were no balance at all. Everybody. If one people make wrong decision to intellectual decision, so balance would be broken. And that's an amazing thing, because in improvisation everything goes this way. But why everything goes this way in improvisation? It means that in this case we have no information with the O and 1. But in real life we can say that, for example, 1 means information and O means 0 information, for example. So. And what does that mean? It means that 0 information is synonym with the word tradition, because 0 information is predictable. We can know beforehand what's going to happen in the next moment. And the place where we study it is in the schools and at home and to rule the surroundings and so. So information is the same as tradition, and tradition is the same as culture. So culture is actually 0 information, the amount of 0 information, what we have learned in our past. And the last thing about that 0 information, 0 information is is communing, is connecting the group of people who have the same information between the ears. For example, I take one example, because that, I forgot to say, that means, in other words, that means group identity. Instead of self-individual identity, which includes information, which is unpredictable. That self-identity, because nobody can know what I'm saying in the next moment. Only me. And when I'm improvising like now, even I myself cannot know what I'm speaking in after 5 seconds. So you cannot come here and speak instead of me those ideas I had in mind, but yet didn't say them. So unpredictability means individual identity, and group identity means zero information, culture, everything which is which you learn in schools and at home and in community. Actually, I could start now my lecture because to understand that thing, it took for me something more than 50 years from my life. Because I began to wonder and think about this thing during 60s and maybe in last 10-20 years I've got the answers, not for you, but for myself. And I try to keep that here, but partly, if I have found the words how to express them, I try to express them to other people. And this is the first time when I'm speaking about these things, and first time to speak them about them in English. So, but no worry, don't worry, be happy. About these things I wrote first time in the book Kansat soittavat, Folks Play. I'm not those 3 women here, but I'm here. You can recognize me maybe from that picture. That's real picture, photo of me, but I used pencil a little bit. And there are some ideas what I found, but among those ideas it begins with it was 86 or 87 when it was published. The first song is one folk song from Iceland, but the 2 next year, Älvsjöhyttan Polska, the Swedish folk song from Dalarna. Älvsjöhyttan Polska by Jurt Anders and Gongloti G-moll by Jurt Anders. So, so greetings to Dalarna and this area. But we are going next to one example about this 1-0 improvisation. And the example is written here in Keitelen oudumpi nuottikirja. It means the more odd notebook from Keitele. Keitele is my home commune where I was living as a child.
Where in Finland is Keitele?
In Middle Finland, exactly
Middle.
in Middle Finland.
Thank you.
in Savolax
Savolax,
area,
okay.
western Savolax. Northwest Savolax, exactly.
Northwest Savolax.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
100 kilometers from Kuopio to west.
Okay.
So this includes folk music from globally. If you like to hear some Australian aboriginals, okay, some Tilosa from Georgia. Di da di 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 da 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 di da do di da da di do da di da da da, and so on. From Tuvian folk song. Just a moment, Arti Saijur is from the I forgot already.
From where?
From
Aborigine.
Altai, from Tuvian folk song. From Altai area, Middle Asia.
Norway.
Yeah. No. Nearby Tibet.
Near.
Tibet.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, but I born from Cuba. Just a moment, I'll try to find where's my Australian friends. Yeah, near. From Korea, Shamason. Humbu katubarabu he dru ja von torok dru nam nuru su. Top to eiku tasaru tataraku min toro hanagata toku torosata hanagata totu turu hanagata totu turu hanagata, and so on. But then I try to find this Australian, because instead of Australian there are Inuits here. Inuit songs. And so on. But didgeridoo from Australia. So you know this horn, long horn, 1 meter, 1.5 meter. Loom, broom, trill, lean, loom. This is what the blower of that horn sings there inside, but we don't hear that singing. But she or he, I guess always he.
Yes.
Yeah. Trill-loom, broom, trill-loom, broom, trill-loom, trill-loom. The time signatures are not right, but it was very fast for me now. Trill-loom, broom, tulidle, jump, trill-loom, broom, tiddle, ledle, dö, tro, tittle-loom, tittle. Too difficult for me. And so on, we have played years ago many of them. So that was that. But this notebook from Keitele, it includes mostly South American Aboriginal nationalities, but from Arctic areas also, and from there is one of the example of most complicated improvisation, which uses only 2 variables, and we use 2 variables there. And if somebody says that this is primitive music, so we have to remember that computers use that. They don't need only 1 and 0.
Yes.
And everybody knows that every knowledge from the universe can be put into computer with these two letters. So now one branch of my representation is to say that it's fake to think that there are more complicated and more simple music, because it depends on, are you using them in predestinate order, or are you using them unpredestinate way? That's the thing. And if you have decided to use it in unpredestinable way, so you need 1 and 0. It means that when I cannot improvise in English. Kun minä tässä ryhdyn laulamaan ja noita sanoja siellä suoltamaan, niin onhan se vähän outoa, kuitenkaan en minä sitä pelkää esittää. Joo, 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 joo. So, this was a Skoltsami melody type. I have made transcriptions from hundreds of folk music things, and I can tell that if they have decided to use the material complicated, they can do it. They have always done so, thousands of years. And in order to get too complicated music for the listener, so there's no use to make that too complicated, because if the music is or information is too complicated, it begins from primitive, so very simple and predestinate way, and began to go to complicated music, complex music, if we use ecophilosophical terms. So this too simple music, it means that 1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0-1-0. After 5 minutes, everybody is listening already. But if I say 1-0-1-1-0-0-0-0, after 6 minutes, let's say, everybody is sleeping. In both situations, the information fades out. And if it's too complicated, we call it silence. John Cage, the American composer, went once to the echo chamber, which everything was totally in silence. When he came out, he asked that, yeah, it was really, yeah, it was silent, but which were those two voices I heard there? The answer was your circulation, blood circulation. In musical terms, it is called white noise, which means that, for example, the hertzes from let's say 440 a tune, or 442. That's one information level. The next, at the same time, 443 and 40, 45, 46. We put the whole thing, let's say, to 500, all those hertzes there. So we will get white noise. And that's what everybody can hear from his or own ears. too much information is no information, not information at all. Is that some basic sentences in Western science? No. No, because much information is alarm, noise, and chaos, and zero information is silence. Not such in such way that zero information is chaos, and so on. This type of improvisation, I have, let's say, tens, maybe not, I don't say hundreds of transcription what I have made from living music, which uses this type of, and they are in balance always. But I took from here one example of music, improvised music, which is here on the first row. And you can count that there are 7 ones and 14 O's. So it doesn't mean that in improvisation everything has to be in balance, but we speak in this kind of cases, we speak about rule and exception. And exception in this case is 1 and rule is O. What does that mean? One paradoxical thing in Western, in comparison with Western worldview, it's the problem of homeopathy. So if we have something less, the importance of it comes bigger and bigger. So what less something we have in the scale. So if we have one dust particle here, so here has to be something very much in order to get the balance. Because if there are 5 dust particles there, so it's lighter than if you have only 1 particle, because in some information reality, this is this paradoxical thing that what less you have, so that heavier it will be. Funny thing. During 60s, I found from one linguistical book, somebody mentioned it, that Zapotec Indians in Middle America, they had a special linguistical form for the experiences what you experience first time in your life. Like we have past form, perfect, plusquam, perfect, and those, and then future forms and present forms. So they have special linguistical form for first experience. And I have to tell what does that mean in our life, because this doesn't belong to Western way of thinking at all. Our Western philosophy doesn't understand the experiences which are very rare or which are first time in your life. Last night I woke up and began to think about what I'm speaking today. I began to think about which are in my life, for example, experiences which are very remarkable for me. Okay, I remember 2. Did you like to hear them?
Yes.
The first, okay, at first the worst example. It happened in Cuba, 1973, when my group was there in Finnish cultural delegation led by Finnish Minister of Education, and very official thing. All the arts, there musicians and painters and so on. Because I had one position in that those things at that time. So I was asked to speak about Finnish today's music. To make a presentation in the meeting where there were the heads of the Cuban Composers Union, and very aristocratic thing. Before we left there, went there from hotel, a day before there were. It's the hospital is very open in Cuba, so there were on the street there were a girl who was a little bit insane here, and she asked. She didn't ask. She just came to our bus and to that meeting place. Okay, she sat there on the back row in the hall. And I began to speak about and so on. After 20 minutes, she shouted something. Of course, I didn't understand because my Spanish was good enough. Everybody turned saw and looked at who's speaking there, and something what I understand. Okay, I continued my representation. So after 10 minutes, again the same shouting, and then there came some man, and he took to hand and went out with the girl. Later, I asked what she had actually told to those people. She doesn't. She don't fuck only me, but the whole Finnish delegation. That was. And it has happened only once in my life, but it is higher than any other that kind of experiences in my life. There can be 1,000 experiences concerning this. And the next time was next time was before that. It was 68 when we professional jazz musicians, we had made a group called Soul Set. We had that was the first soul group in Finland, and we had a singer, vocal solist from Stockholm, Al Sharp, Sudan Negro, who had been in United States and who told that James Brown takes 5 steps and gets $5,000, and I take 5,000 steps and get $5. So we were chosen to be the representatives of Finnish light music, and we took part to the contest of beat music at those Sofia Youth Festival 69. We won it, of course. Need to say, but the prize was that we were asked to play at the closing of the festival at Sofia Stadium. And Sofia Stadium is for about let's say 90,000 people. And it was full, of course. And the stage were in the middle of that field, and the stage was about that high. And we had very thin trousers. I had black trousers and not white but yellow nylon shirt with colors, collars here. Very, and yeah, I was always 26 or I don't remember. We decided that we jumped there and we began to play. We began, it was 20 meters we had to run. And when I jumped there, I heard cracks! And it was from here to here. And the yellow nylon shirt was, of course, there under. So, and I told to the bass player that, sorry, I have to stand on the loudspeakers, and loudspeakers were higher than me, so you could even put the eggs there and eat them laterwards. So terrible noise. I had the whole time to play in front of 100,000 people, and in Eastern Europe about 100 million TV. Once in my life. So I'm here just showing the possibilities to think in another way, and I hope that you understand that something that in USA there are Republicans and Democrats, they are about 50-50, and we have the majority of central party in Finland now, and so that something is much, it doesn't mean anything, because what one good thing, so it's more important than 100,000 something there on the scale cup on the other side. But I don't know yet what does it mean in European worldview, but I'm sure that European, Western worldview will collapse if we understand really what it does mean, because it's one of the basic things. It could be one basic things in our worldview. What less something is, that more important it is. And that's only paradox nowadays. Now to that comes from eastern side of Ural Mountains, from one Finno-Ugrian group, ethnic group. I guess originally Mansis. There are two groups of people, Ossiaks and Voguls. And Ossiaks is nowadays they are Hantis. They are called Hantis, and Mansis are older name is Voguls. And it is played in Älvsjöhyttan because we don't have CD player, so I don't play original things, but because I can sing it quite well. This is from Moscow radio, one short cut from one improvisation, and one in that it means tiki tiki da da, di 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 da da, and O means da 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 da. So maybe Anna can help me. We can at first sing that. Take her one chair. because we will make one presentation later, so I need here. But now we just sing that through from there, from that at first. And everybody can come with because tiki ta ta ylätiki. One was tiki ta ta. You can repeat it. Tiki ta ta, tiki ta ta, tiki ta ta, tiki ta ta. And O was ta 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 ta. Okay, now we sing it through.
Yes.
1, 2,
Which
1,
note do we
2.
start?
Sorry, that's only the highest row.
The highest row.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tiki tiki ta 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 ta. Tiki tiki ta 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 ta. Tiki tiki ta 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 ta. Tiki tiki ta ta tiki tiki ta 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 ta. Tiki tiki ta 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 ta. Tiki tiki ta 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 ta. Okay. You can understand that we can sing that song, let's say 30 generations, 1,000 years or something, and it's always new. It's always new. 1,000 years is nothing. But if you sing, no, Beethoven,
Beethoven's sixth symphony, the ninth, the
Ninth.
fifth.
No, mitä se?
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
100 players making that, and we remember only ta-ta-ta-ta. It goes to one voice music immediately. And if you try to find from that 100 orchestra, what does the violin player do on the 6th row and the 4th from the left? Nobody can understand what he is doing, because we hear only ti-ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ti-ta. That's everything which is too complicated goes to one voice thing, and that's that. What does it mean? If we hear the A voice, I don't know, I don't have absolute note there. So, but we hear one voice. But we know at the same time that there are 440 or 442 hertz, vibrations per second. We hear one A sound because information is too much to our ears. And everything which is too much, it goes back to one tone or silence. In last level, it goes to silence. But this, we will give an example now. What does it mean, this unpredestinable series of ones and ohs? We sing together 6 first numbers. 100, 100 there. And then, for example, you begin to improvise. And I will sing it at the same time, and I can sing it, I try to know beforehand what she is going to sing. And if I have 2 times sang right So we go back to that and change the turn. So. Eli kaksi kertaa toi. Tiki tiki tai ta 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 tai ta 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 tai ta. Tiki tiki tai ta 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 tai ta 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 tai ta 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 tai ta. Tiki tiki tai ta. Tiki tiki tai ta ta tai ta 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 tai ta. Tiki tiki tai ta 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 tai ta 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 tai ta. She made a mistake because she tried to change her tita after hearing that I'm so I won this competition. But okay, maybe that's enough. Thanks. I have done that as a group rehearsal many times, tens of years, and when somebody doesn't know beforehand, let's say 15 times, so it's I can tell that formula race competitions are nothing in comparison with two people, what they feel when it's 15th or 16th time when you don't know. And then happens as a first time that that you know everything what you say, and it changes the whole time. But it means that it's in vain to speak about complexity or I don't know which word is good, complicatedness or complexity of music, because with one and O you can take anything you like, complicated and primitive and so on. So for me, when I make transcriptions from Skoltsami, old lady, her singing some personal songs, so they have been the most great and deep experiences in music, what I, as a professional musician, have had in my whole life. For me, nowadays, it's I don't need 100 symphony orchestra there because one old woman can do the same. So this unpredestinability or predestinability, that's a basic thing about improvisation, because if I made it once already, 101010, and 5 minutes and you are on coffee break and so on. But if 5 minutes, the same thing. Exactly. Or then somebody comes here, if I could play that way, so somebody from their background comes and plays better than me. So that's a normal thing. It was almost 15 minutes over when I had 5 different basic basic things, and I've now spoken one. So maybe it's time to discuss or
I think you can choose one short thing.
a short one.
Choose one more basic short one.
Okay, I try to just tell what I planned to speak.
And we talk with you at dinner.
Underbart. Ekot.
I'm afraid. Because because Einstein said that, and some other types said that we don't have any knowledge at all. Okay, one citation. Oswald Spengler put the term Glaube, religion, not religion, but trust. Yeah, on the highest place because every knowledge is always only subjective and relative. So we have only trust, and it means that what does it mean? I'm afraid to, because if I say one sentence, there are 10 other waiting their turn. Immediately there. So, but we have only trust, belief to something because we don't know. Yeah, it was Wittgenstein who said that all absolute knowledge is absolute knowledge only because it is contracted. So 2 plus 2 in mathematics. It's not knowledge. It's not in nature. There are no 2 plus 2 because in nature, for example, cock and kukka ja kana, huun and haan. Cock and hen. If they go together, there's at least minimum is 3 because one always going out, and so nature doesn't know that 2 plus 2 is 4. Only human, because that's contract. And what concerns nature, it's always only todennäköistä. So, no.
Predictability.
Huh?
Predictability.
Yeah. It is not absolute knowledge at all, because it's only 99% and plus 90. So what more sure something in nature is, so it's one step nearer the day when the exception comes. After we have seen the sun coming from east, okay, we know of course that the globe is rounding, but let's say so. So it means that one morning less that it doesn't go up from east anymore. That's one point. But no, yeah. Or